don't know. I think we're live. There we go. It looks like we are up. All right. Tell me how it is, everyone. Can you hear me? What's up? We're going to be winging this entire thing. How do I sound? Any kind of echo? Do I sound like Dan and Sean? Of course I'm on time. All righty. So I've been pre-gaming to my pregame live because I'm going to be winging this entire thing. Heads chopped. Look, we'll figure it out. And I don't like how I have to read the chat over here because in front of me I cannot see it. And I don't want to be looking like Sam squinting at everything that's coming down. We'll figure it out. I'm going to move this over. But there is no topic tonight. This is really just a test. I needed to see how everything went. It seemed like every time I would go to a new page, something else would pop up that I had to figure out. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of makers in front of me. I figured the best inaugural live stream. I got the new Makers 2020 wood finishing series. We're going to get into that tonight. And you got to warm up. I believe you have to warm up with the same brand. If you got something special, warm up with the same brand. So I'm getting a little Makers in me. Something in the background. Does it sound like the TV that's currently going? How about now? I turned it off. See if the popping's still there. Maybe. Oh well. Good enough. All right, I guess another thing, we can just answer some questions too until I start getting some topics and stuff. What was your MOS in the Army? There we go. Already that one. So 11 Bravo, it was infantry. I did serve my whole time in Germany. Good times. Good times. Anything you want to know about that, I'll tell you. I can talk forever about the Army. MOS, that's your that's just your job. What is your job? And it's, I don't actually even know what that stands for, but in the Army it's a bunch of numbers and letters, and that, 11 Bravo is infantry, like 11 Charlie is mortars, 88 Mike, truck driver, stuff like that. Germany. How did I like Germany? Germany itself, freaking awesome. So the drinking age in Germany is 16. So, I enlisted right out of high school. So I showed up 18 and I was able to go out, get beer straight out of basic training. So how long were you in and what unit? So I just did I did one contract. I went in the end of 2013 and I went to the 2nd Cavalry Regiment. I did go in as infantry and I got stationed at a CAV unit. So for all you guys who know about that, it was terrible. Germany, okay. Will Henderson, I hear they make beer. Yeah, beer is a way of freaking life in Germany. So the base I was at was in Bavaria. So if you've ever heard of a little thing called Oktoberfest, that's where it's at. It's all about I mean, beer is a way of life. You can go to a restaurant. It is cheaper to buy a beer than it is just to get like a Coke. And if you order a Coke, they bring out this tiny little glass. You order a beer, it's a beer. Yes, Ed, we were strikers. So as a cavalry unit, just a mechanized unit, basically a striker, if anyone doesn't know, it's like an 8-wheeled tank. It's got either a 50 cal or Mark 19 on top, and all the dudes load up in the back. You drive around, you drive up to where you want to attack, all the dudes jump out the back, the 50 and the Mark, wreck shop, good times. Which towards the end of my time in the Army, they made me a driver of one of those things, which sound died. I feel like it's probably just Michael Klein whose sound died. I feel like he's been going all day, so. Can everyone else still hear me? No, it was him. Okay, of course. So, no, a Bradley is totally different than a striker. A Bradley's basically a freaking tank. It's a tracked vehicle. Strikers are much faster, and I don't know. I feel like they're less armored. I would feel much safer in a Bradley, but what turned me on to Maker's Mark? So I'm a huge Maker's fanboy, if you can't tell. I have no giveaways on that. But honestly, there wasn't a specific thing that turned me on to it. Like when I was getting into bourbon, which I still feel like I'm still on my journey. My goal it was, and it still is, to try everything. So, because I can't stand when people are like, which one's the best? What should I get? Because I feel like you should just get all of them. Figure it out yourself. See what you like, what agrees with your palate. And, everyone was like, oh, Maker's Mark, so bland and boring and whatever. But I bought it anyway, and I agree with it. It agrees with my palate. Base makers love it. So I feel like you should try everything. If you don't like it, so be it. Don't try it. Try their other stuff, see if you like that. There's so many. It's hard to say you don't like Maker's Mark unless you've tried everything and you genuinely don't like Maker's Mark. But if you have one product you don't like, I don't know. Hold on, before we get any further. So I do have one person. All right, Michael Klein, say something. This is a test. People were asking earlier who was going to wrench for me. And I don't know. The first person has to go with Michael Klein because he was the one who made me even do this. So it has to be him. There we go. All right, what is your go-to and favorite? We're gonna have to narrow that down a little bit. Make it more specific. I don't have one thing that I drink every day. I like trying different things. I wouldn't even say trying. Just I go to my liquor cabinet and I look at everything and I'm like, I want all of it. I want to try this tonight and that, whatever. There is no one that I just go to. I do have my favorites. I would say if I had to pick one favorite, like if I had to really choose an everyday, it'd probably be Maker's 46. I love that stuff so much. Just because it's cheap, it's affordable, you can find it anywhere, so that's why I choose it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite overall. I mean, I could drink my Knob Creek, store pick every day, but I also don't want it to disappear that fast. So, are you a weeded fan or just Makers? What else do you drink? Literally everything. I've probably tried about everything you can. Weller, I mean, I like the Wellers. There's not many weeded. So, Larceny, I do not like regular Larceny. I do not agree with it. My palate does not like it. But Larceny Barrel Proof, delicious. And that kind of brings me up to another point I was thinking about. So, when I first started, I tried Larceny and I didn't like it, but I wrote it off this whole time. So, I mean, maybe I do like it now. It's something, pro tip, go back and revisit things that you haven't had in a long time. Because maybe I'll like it. I don't know. Because I tried the Larceny Barrel Proof and I loved it. So I figured, in my mind, why did I hate regular Larceny, but I love Larceny Barrel Proof? So, I don't know. Maybe I do like Larceny now. I don't know. Just got to try it. Do your 5 whiskeys for next week's show. I can do that. I need to. So, here's the thing. While we still got some people in here, my stream is not. I'm not going to have a regular. I don't want to have like a regular schedule. Like, I'm not going to go every Monday before Klein or whatever. I want to make this a little more flexible so I can go live before various channels. Basically, it's just an avenue to get people drinking before the main event. So, with that being said, when you subscribe, be sure to hit the little bell icon to get notifications, because it is going to be kind of sporadic and random. I'll try and do it too a little bit longer than a 15-minute heads up. I know that was last minute, but I was getting everything set up and everything just kept going wrong. And, I was testing things out and it would be, I couldn't start. I had to go through StreamYard last minute, because if you don't have 1,000 subs, you can't go live straight from your phone, which I have a camera that I just got, but my laptop, for whatever reason, is not recognizing the camera. So that's why it kind of took me. I was planning on going live at 7. Let's see. More people showing up. Scary Peeper. Mash and Drum. Yes. Everyone get in here. Let's see. How many channels do you mod for? I have no idea. At least I do enough that I can cover pretty much every day of the week. Which, it kind of got to the point where people started modding me just because I was modding in like 15 other channels. So they would see me and be like, oh, you can do it here too. Which, I appreciate it. Dramhound, what's up, man? I think he wants a wrench. What's my favorite rye? So I'm not well versed into many in many ryes. I probably have had less than 10, to be honest. The one that I love currently, I mean, I can destroy some Old Forester rye. That stuff, but then again, that stuff's not a high rye. It's just enough rye to say I'm a rye. So the Knob Creek rye, same thing. It's good. I don't know if I've had. What are some really high ryes? Like 100% ryes? I can't even name one. I can't even think of one. All right, so while we still got a little time, we're gonna, while I'm gonna still keep answering questions and stuff, but we're gonna go ahead. I just picked up the Maker's Mark, the new one for this year. So we're gonna try it. Which, okay, while we're on this, so you've heard of like slam. Oh yeah, American. You've heard of slam dunk bottles. This is the opposite. This is the worst. Look at this. What is that? How are you going to do that to me? There's no wax on this. Maybe it's a new thing. Let's just see how little wax we can get on a bottle. Looks like a Maker's Mark flat nut. So there was zero plan for tonight. The only plan I had was I wanted to drink this. So I figured I might as well warm up with other Maker's Mark. So that's where we're at. Do you like RC6? I've only had a sample of it. So last year, I went to the store. They had a full shelf of RC6. But at the time, I was like, man, I really don't have the money right now to get it. Like, I'll come back in a couple of days and get me one. They have a full shelf of it. Come back in a couple days and they're all gone, and I've never seen it since. So the only time I tried it, I think I won a sample on one of Jason's giveaways. I won a sample of it, and I loved it. So we'll see how this compares. Which I did. I've only had one pour of this before. I like to, do an initial pour. I won't give any, I won't make any opinions on it on the first pour. I want to get some air in it and see what happens. So we're learning together right now. So I'm glad I did these first. So the back of this says that they did, let's see. Long story short, there's a whole paragraph on the back. But with this, they were trying to bring out the signature vanilla and caramel taste notes in our signature Maker's Mark. So I'm guessing from reading that, you would assume this is just a regular Maker's amped up to 11. But on the nose, it's not like that. I would say it's almost more like I don't know, just kind of like if you've ever had a Maker's Private Select when they start messing around with all the staves. I mean, you get a lot of vanillas and stuff, but it's more in the Maker's 46 range versus this to me. More people showing up. Dude, so first of all, I just want to thank everyone for showing up. A totally last minute live, and we got 25 of you fools. I don't know what y'all are doing. But these are all the people I expected to be here. So thank you for coming and supporting me. I mean, we're totally winging this. So this is going to be a learning experience. I will make it better. This is totally, I wasn't even planning on doing this. Michael Klein tagged me in a comment. It was like, hey, are you going to pregame live tonight? And I was like, you know what? We might as well get it out of the way. So, but then, when I started I started setting everything up. It was just everything was. I understand why other people are late now, to be honest. But let me just say this: this is my first one, and I was on time. So tomorrow on Dan and Sean's live, please give them crap when they're late. Even if they're not late, just say this dude just winged a live stream and he was on time. So here we go. You have more viewers than I will have on my first live. No, I will make 10 accounts come and watch you, Shayla. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna taste this. We're gonna test it. You know, we got 10 minutes. I'm honestly kind of glad we only did 30 minutes the first one because I had no idea how this was gonna go. I thought it was gonna be a pure disaster. So, but cheers, everyone. This is the pregame show. So you all are supposed to be drinking already. So when we show up to Klein's chat, we're good to go. So cheers, everyone. Here we go. Oh yeah. So here's another preface. I'm not going to give you Jason level tasting notes because, for one, I taste everything that he says. I taste everything that everyone says. I just don't know how to name them. So I'm tasting what I taste, and most of the time I have no idea what to call it. So you're going to just bear with me. I'm just going to give you the real and honest opinion without saying, you know, rubber tire, peach cobbler. I don't know. It is definitely amplified caramels and vanillas, but it's almost like you blended a good private select with like a regular makers or makers 46 or something. It just turned up a notch, which if you're a makers fan, you're gonna like this. I'll say that right now, right off the first sip. Makers fan, get it. Which I had to call, I might be the biggest Makers fan out of anyone that I've met in here. So as soon as I started seeing these pop up, I was like, I got to get one. So I started calling stores. I started going to stores. Every place I called was like, oh yeah, man, we got 5 of those in stock, but they're all taken. Sorry. And I called a store that I had never been to, and the dude was like, "Oh yeah, man, I got 3 of them behind the counter." And I was like, "All right, can you hold one?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I got in the car, drove straight there. He pulled it up, and I'm like, "So how many do you have?" He's like, 3. I was like, "Let me get 2, leave one for someone else." So I got 2 just for I'll drink this one and save the next one for next year, just so to be sure to compare it to the next year's release. Yes, this tastes very bourbony. Smells like bourbon. Looks like bourbon. No, it's good. So, Michael. Okay. As you distract me, so we got 5 minutes, so I'm gonna hurry. But Michael, so this is the power of the community, right? I met Michael. I went down to New Orleans Bourbon Fest last year. Met Michael there. He was just a random dude who went to the It's Bourbon Night meetup with me. And we just started talking. We hung out the whole weekend. And now we become friends, and I've actually hung out with this dude anytime he's in the area. We go get a pour. The community's awesome, man. Just the friends you meet all over the world that you keep in touch with, and you know, I've met so many people from the chat, and it's just awesome. Like, you get to, anywhere you go, you're gonna know someone from the chat. So I always be sure to ask if, you know, anyone's in the area, if I'm traveling, meet up with people and have a pour with them. And you finally get to put a name to the face in chat. I mean, this is why I do what I do. I love everyone. It's like my bourbon group of friends is definitely like widespread. I probably have one friend in the area around me that even drinks bourbon. So that's why I'm here all the time, is you guys are my friends. Victoria, what's up? All right, let's see what's else. You know, I will be honest. So at first I was glad that it was only 30 minutes, but it really does fly by. But for my first one, I'm kind of glad it's shorter. Yeah, DC, if anyone's in Arkansas, just let me know. I got some spots. We'll go have a pour. Let's go to Rocktown. But if no one's had Rocktown, I don't know the reach of Rocktown, but that's our local distillery. And them fools are putting out some good stuff, man. Like, they got a 4-grain barrel proof, and it's freaking amazing. Like, I'm just gonna have to go buy a couple bottles and start sending out samples to people. Donnie, the Linux guy. So Donnie's another guy I meet up from the chat all the time. We've hung out multiple times. Donnie can attest. He came to Little Rock. We went to Rocktown, and their 4-grain barrel proof is top notch, man. This is what I'm gonna do. As a celebratory thing, 3 minutes left. Here we go. I'm gonna go I'll at least buy one bottle, and for all you people who joined, the next time I do this, I'm just gonna pick people out, and I'm gonna send you samples of that bottle, because it is so good and people need to try it. And I don't know the reach of it. I don't think you can get this anywhere but Arkansas, maybe Memphis. I don't know. But that stuff's good and people need to try it. It was my favorite. Donnie, when he came, they got 2 different flights of all their stuff. And I've tried all of their stuff, which all of it's good. A lot of it's kind of, you know, on the younger side. So it kind of has that younger taste to it, but they're still good. But that 4-grain, I do not know how it compares to the E.H. Taylor 4-grain. I have not had that, but it's really good. And I have tons of sample bottles. I've won so many sample bottles from Jason alone that I can send out quite a few of those, and I feel like people need to try it. Yep, 3-minute warning. Well, I'll go ahead, and here I am doing modding. Look, guys, I'm gonna have to break this. I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna see who my loyal supporters are to start modding some people up. You got to live up to a legacy. But Michael Klein's going live. But if you're here, you know that Michael Klein is going live. Let this be real. But we'll see who my loyal followers are, and I'll designate who's up for the task. Oh my God, the bourbon junkies are in here. Gotta be Dan, and I'm so mad that I'm not shirtless. He's got to see. Just check your inbox. I got you. All right, 1-minute warning. I just want to thank everyone. There are 36 of you guys showing up. I don't even have a video up. But I appreciate you all showing up. I can't promise that the next stream is going to be any better. We're just going to kind of wing it. I'm cool with answering questions until I start, setting up, flights and all kinds of stuff. But we'll figure it out. We're in this together. We're just here having a good time. Let's get tipsy before we go. Okay, 8 o'clock. Thank you all for showing up. Click the link. Go over to Destination Bourbon's channel. I appreciate you guys showing up, man. So until next time.